Hello, everyone. This is Mallika Boobna, and welcome back to yet another episode of Marrfa Presents Brick by Brick. On our last episode, we had Dr. Anand with us to talk about why Dubai. Why is everyone around the world talking about Dubai, and where is Dubai heading in the future? And today, I have someone special as well to not only talk about Dubai, but talk about what happened in Dubai. He's someone who has seen it through since we started selling Dubai real estate to the world. He has seen Dubai go through the corrections, through the surges, through it all. He has done multiple transactions, but also somebody who has had multiple stories behind those transactions. So with tons of experience about how did people behave in your 2013, 2014 to 2022. What does that look like today? And what does he envision that to be tomorrow? So, somebody who has been in the market since 2013, 2014, but born into this field. And I'm very excited to understand his journey from being selling Dubai real estate to now having an agency and being one of the trusted names for Dubai real estate on social media and in the city. So, without more further ado, please welcome Tahir Majithia to Brick by Brick.
Thank you so much, Mallika. Thank you so much.
Tahir, I have seen you on Instagram for a very long time. So I've been in Dubai since March 2024, so a year and a half now. And when you start real estate, you look at the top names on Instagram, look at what they do and what their opinions are and what do they think about the city. And that's why I'm very, very happy to have you today
My
to
pleasure.
understand your relationship with Dubai, how old that has gone through with real estate itself, and how you started in general.
So the thing is, the first time I came to Dubai was back in 2005.
Okay.
It was a short holiday with some friends, and I just fell in love with the place. So it was always, and after that, I've been visiting Dubai like every 2-3 months. From the first time I came here, I was like, I really love the place. I used to always find a reason to, pass by here, and been coming very regularly. And I wanted to, I really had back of my mind somewhere that I want to try and do something there. But I had, obligations, business back in India. I couldn't really move. But somewhere in 2012, 2013, I got an opportunity where I could, move and start over here. And I did that. So I moved, I started working here very actively 2013, 14 onwards. And obviously 2014 onwards, I've just been here. And so far Dubai has been amazing. It's home today.
Yeah.
And, my kids go to school here. They've practically grown up here. So, I think I'm truly blessed to call this city my home.
Where is home in India? Tahir?
Bombay.
Oh, Bombay. Which part of
Yes,
Bombay?
Bandra.
Bandra.
Yeah.
Okay, my brother is in, he wants to become a Bollywood actor. So he's in Andheri right now, trying his best. So you said Dubai was great in 2005. I'm very
Yes.
curious, what was there in Dubai in 2005?
I mean, 2005, obviously, Dubai was very different. It was
Very
not
new,
what
very
it is
young.
today. Malls were Dera City Center and Burjuman Mall, and not,
And that was downtown at that
yeah,
point.
that was like kind of the place you would, I mean, if you search hotels, you would look at, some hotel either in Dera or Bardubai, there was no downtown or stuff like that. And it was, but it was still, quite nice. It had a different, it had its own charm. And I think, the way the city is, it had that energy even then, because I really believe that Dubai has this energy which is right,
Like
the
you do
moments,
more.
yeah, you do more, and that was, very different. And I still remember 2005 end or 6, Mall of Emirates opened at that time, and seeing that was different. And in fact, I was just telling someone, just today, I still remember 2006 driving and going to Ibn Battuta Mall,
Okay.
because that was just opened that time.
Near Palm Jabal Ali side.
Yeah, I mean,
Before JL, yeah.
before Jabal Ali, and at that time I'm like, where is this mall? When it will come? And it you drive and all of a sudden it appears, and I was like, who makes a mall in middle of
Nowhere.
nowhere? And if you go there today, it's packed.
Yeah.
There's no space. Finding a parking is a challenge. But that's what Dubai is all about, because Dubai builds for the future,
Right.
unlike any other city. I haven't seen a city in the world which is preparing for the future. And I think Dubai is the only place in, which is actively, continuously looking at the future and preparing itself for the future.
No, and I think I agree. And I've said this before, Tahir, multiple times. When I moved from London, people ask me why. And I'm like, if I stay in London another year, nothing would change, right? But if I go to Dubai a year
Yeah.
later, everything would
Everything
change.
changes. Everything
And
changes.
it's interesting when you say this, like the city has it all, right?
Yeah.
But it always wants to do more.
Oh, absolutely. They are constantly trying to. What happens for a lot of places when development happens, they develop and that's it, right? They don't change anything.
They're happy.
They're happy. And you go there 10 years down the line and it's still the same. But with Dubai, it's not that. They are constantly striving to be the best, to be the number
100%.
one, and trying to see how they can improve the city.
There was a news that came through, I think, recently. You mentioned MOE. They're expanding and renovating and improving MOE.
Yes.
Has MOE changed from what you remember? From
Yeah, of
then
course
to
it
now?
has. It's become, I believe in between they added a second floor, where there's some restaurants and all. And I mean, obviously shops and things have kept
Change.
on changing. Look at Dubai Mall. Dubai Mall's expanded so much. I mean, a few years, I don't remember which year, but like the new Fashion Avenue, that didn't exist a few years back.
Even Chinatown did
Yeah,
not
Chinatown
exist
didn't
before.
exist. The Zabil side didn't exist. So, the mall also, and they're still expanding.
Yes.
Right? They're still
Crazy.
expanding right now. There's work going on, and they're, I think just today I saw a post of, there's going to be one exhibition center also coming up over there. So, I mean, look, it's unimaginable that someone can plan so much in advance.
Yes.
And think that, okay, maybe in the future we might want to extend this mall and keep space. I mean, that's unheard of.
It's crazy. And if you think about it, like Dubai is so young, right?
Absolutely.
I was at the Marrfa sales center with a client. We're looking at villas at Nadal Shiba and also the Acres. And then they said that when Acres was launched years ago, that reserved the last line of villas for RTA, which is Road and Transport Authority in Dubai.
Yeah.
And when I asked him why, he said, yes, because they're still developing roads.
Yeah.
So they wanted to keep the last layer of it free in case they want to develop the road
Roads,
there. So
yes,
until those roads
yes.
were confirmed, those units were
Yes.
blocked by RTA.
Yeah.
And imagine a city that is so well thought of.
No, I mean, the planning department and the execution, they do an absolutely amazing job over here, especially the RTA, the way they planned the whole city, the way they've designed it. I think it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And people need to come here to see that, because no matter how much you tell people, experiencing it in, by yourself is something totally different.
100%. I think that's why new investors coming here, they don't understand that when Dubai Hills was also launched,
Yeah.
it was so far away from downtown and now it's merely 17 minutes
True,
away.
true.
And it's just because it's constantly developing,
Yeah.
which is crazy. I do want to talk about 2013, 2014 before I talk
Right.
about the future Dubai. Very few people in Dubai have been there for such a long time.
Yes.
There are a lot of new agents coming to the market with 1 year, 2 year, 3 year
Lots.
experience, right? 2014 market was at peak. The prices were at the high during that cycle.
Yeah.
And then we saw a slight correction happening. From what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong as well, please, that the mortgage rates were high at that minute. And that point DLD was 2%, which is the stamp duty in our language, which then became 4%.
4%.
Correct. And then a lot of supply, not tons, but supply had entered the market, but there was not enough demand to absorb it, which is not the case today. I want to know if there was a panic happening during that time.
See, I'll tell you what. 2008, there was a panic, but
With
that was a
financial
global panic.
crisis, correct.
Right? What happened is 2012 and I think Expo was announced 2013. So there was this, boost which came into
Correct.
the market. Yes, markets did go high, but obviously they didn't go like crazy high at
Correct.
that time. So 2014 up until the second quarter, the markets were, on a high. And then from the third quarter of 2014, gradually the
Stabilized.
markets were kind of declining and correcting, quarter on quarter, year on year. A lot has changed from then and now.
Correct.
Okay. Number one, people didn't really panic. So we didn't see a price drop like straight down.
True.
It was gradual. Okay.
So people realize this is
People
happening.
slowly realize. Now what happened is, there's a lot has changed between 2014 and 2025.
100%.
Dubai has changed completely. We didn't have, for example, where expats could own their businesses 100%. You needed a local partner to start a business at that time. That has changed. We didn't have VAT. Today we have VAT. We didn't have corporate tax. Today that is in place. Not just that, we didn't have golden visas. So people were, always on a 2-year or a 3-year visa at the most, even if they've lived 50 years, over here. So there was no golden visa and stuff like that. So, and as a place, what used to happen when you're talking to a client back in 2014, 2015, you had to explain that invest in Dubai, these are the advantages, this is a renter's market,
Yeah.
etc., etc. And very few people believed in Dubai at that
True.
time. Today, when you're talking to someone, you don't have to sell Dubai to anyone.
You have to sell yourself.
You
right?
just have to, they are sold on Dubai. They know Dubai is the place to be. They know what the city has achieved in the last few years, and they want to be a part of it. So that has changed. People's perspective has changed a lot. Even when I say people's perspective, not just people who live outside of the UAE, but also people who came here, whether, they took up jobs or started a business or whatever. Their perspective towards the place has also changed, because people previously used to think that this is a place where I'm going 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years,
I agree.
make money and then go back to my home country or whatever. Now, they don't want to go from here.
No.
That perspective has changed drastically in the last few years, and people want to be here only. They don't want their... Previously, it used to be like, okay, I'm, someone who's here, okay,
Make
the
money.
moment my kids finish school, probably they will go somewhere else to study, let them get settled somewhere else. Today, that thing is changing. They want their kids to be over here. They want them to be studying over here. We've got some amazing world-class schools opened
Correct.
up now, which wasn't the case before. So a lot has changed. We have the best of the best hotels, restaurants, you name it, and we have it.
So there was no panic, but people realized...
There was no panic, but people were, markets were going down, back in the day, obviously, because these initiatives were not there.
There was no reason for them to hold on.
Reason, and there were not so many people moving into the city.
Correct.
But yeah, things
have
changed. Yeah.
And we have the Urban 2040 plan, which allows us to increase our population. We have the agendas to increase social life, lifestyle, etc. 100%. A lot of people have been talking about correction happening soon. I do not believe it. I think there's a correction needed in the mindset as opposed to in Dubai. However, it is a cycle. So hypothetically, let's say it was supposed to happen, right? Do you think now, because Dubai sells itself so well, because it's such an obvious answer to come and live here as opposed to invest here, do you think people are mentally prepared to ride that wave if it ever comes?
So look, two things. Number one, correction can happen anytime. Okay. I believe whatever people want to say, when it comes to a correction, nobody can predict.
No.
Okay. For example, in 2020, nobody predicted the market's going to go up. I have never read a report in 2019, 2020 saying that buy Dubai's property today, it'll become 3x, 4x in 5 years. Nobody predicted that. Same way with the correction. Now, there are a lot of people, what I always tell people is that, see, correction can even happen without market correcting. Okay. And prices can go up even without the market going up. It depends on where you're putting your money in. Because when you say you can't take, market in general, a lot of factors make a difference. What property have you bought? Where have you bought? Which developer is it? What type of a unit is it? Is it a unit where has probably the best view and there are only 3 units in the building like that? Probably even if the market's correct, your unit probably might not lose value. Or you bought into a unit in a 50-story building where there are 3 units on the same floor, same view, and there are 150 units of the same type, then probably even without the markets correcting, there could be a correction in your property price because there are so many sellers.
Correct.
Or maybe that particular area didn't really pick up well. There are a lot of factors. So when it comes to correction, I mean, even today, if you go in the market today searching for deals, probably you might get a deal where someone is selling a property below OP. But the reason for it are various reasons. He could have probably bought it at the wrong price. Developers do such amazing marketing that not everybody is able to figure out that whether I'm buying the right property or not. So there are multiple things. As long as you buy the right property,
you can sell it.
You can sell it. even if a correction comes, you hold on to it for a few years, you will get the value back, or higher. So I think when it comes to correction, people are overthinking it. They're not using the right logic. They're
Right.
not utilizing the data in the right way
I agree.
to make an informed decision, because nobody can predict. Today, it's a very simple thing. Today, look at every developer. There's no developer who's slowing down on acquisition.
No.
Every developer is acquiring more and more
Lots.
land, and land is getting
Scarce.
it's difficult to find. Prices of lands have gone up. So I don't see that a developer can afford to start selling a new project today at a cheaper price. So and as long as people keep coming in, I don't see a correction happening.
No, me too. And I think I very much agree with you on the same scale as you said. It's about what you buy, right? Some
Yes.
developers might launch 7,000 units or something, and then you're buying the same exact thing.
Absolutely. I'll give you an example. 2016 to 2017, markets have been declining. Okay, I'll give you a very simple example of JVC. Okay,
Jumeirah Village Circle.
Jumeirah Village Circle. Back in 2015, 2016, Ellington started their first project, and I was amongst
Belgravia,
the
was it?
Belgravia one, and I was actively selling that project. I really believed in it. At that time, it was selling probably 50 or 100 dirhams more than probably any other project in JVC. People didn't understand, but there were few people who understood, and they bought. Even though when on handover, when the markets have gone down, that particular product appreciated and sold at a premium.
It
Because
still does.
when the building got ready and when people came in, they were like, oh wow, what is this? There's nothing like this. So what happened is that in a market filled with thousands of apartments, there were only these 180 units which were so amazing, and people were willing to pay a premium for it, whether it is for rent or for sale. And the prices were up.
Yeah,
So it depends on what you're buying.
I agree.
So even in a bad market, you can make money. Yeah.
It's very interesting you said JVC, Tahir. I make quarterly reports. I
Yeah.
look at the transactions in DXP for that entire quarter for every single area and look at the most rented place, number of transactions in a particular place. JVC, Tahir, has always stood out, right? So like if you look at Q3, Q2, Q1 of 2025.
It's been the highest selling area since the last 10 years.
Correct. And what do you see as the future of that area? Do you think, like, I personally believe that if you have all cash, you're looking at that 1 million mark, you can still invest, but you have to understand that it's very much a rentable product.
See, JVC has always been a renter's market.
Correct.
People never bought in JVC for some major capital appreciation. People bought properties in JVC for cash flow. And I believe it will remain that way. Okay. Yes, prices have gone up in JVC today with the entire markets going up. But if you see the percentage of rise as compared to a lot of other places, it's not that much.
No.
Like, for example, if you say, let's say Dubai Hills, if someone bought, let's say a Maple and at the same time invested that same amount in JVC, Maple has gone more than 2x.
145%.
Whereas JVC could be 1.5x or whatever. So there is, but the beauty of JVC is that's always demand.
Yeah.
There's always people wanting to rent, and you get all sorts of properties there.
It's about what you buy in JVC
Exactly.
that matters, as we
Exactly.
discussed before.
And that matters
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I agree. And Tyler, before you mentioned that in today's world, developers are getting so good at marketing stuff,
Yes.
right? They decorate it so well. They make the amenities look outstanding. It's like a movie, right?
Oof.
It's crazy.
I've never seen a bad brochure.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither. Do you think investors in 2025 and beyond are looking at data to make those decisions, or are they being very well marketed to?
Look, the thing is, there are two types of investors.
Okay.
One, the seasoned ones
Mm-hmm.
who understand numbers, who understand quality, and who always believe in paying top dollar for top product. These are the investors who don't lose money. Because number one, they will research well. When I say research well, it doesn't mean that go and see every product and every developer and no. But in what category they want to invest, they'll research well. They'll understand the numbers, and they are always happy paying, even if they have to pay slightly more, but get a premium unit.
Right.
Okay. Then there are investors who are always trying to be cheap. Oh, this developer is giving me a discount. This developer is giving me an offer. This developer is giving me this kind of a payment plan. They miss the most important thing is the fundamental. Okay, you're getting this offer, but why is the developer wanting to give you that offer?
Exactly.
It's probably because he cannot sell without that offer. What is then why is it like that? So that, and look, there's always a catch. Okay, whenever there's something which is any offer which is too good to be true, there's always a catch in it. So what is happening is, and most of the times, these are the guys investing for the first time.
True.
Okay, what happens is they're scared. Number one, because they're investing for the first time. Most likely they're investing from abroad. So there's also this doubt of, it's not that, for example, someone staying in Bombay investing in a building next door or whatever, in a totally different country. So that's another thing. Sometimes they don't understand, what to believe, what not to believe.
Correct.
Right. And when it comes to investing, a lot of times I think emotions come into the play and people don't see the numbers correctly. They invest based on their emotions, and that's where most of the people go wrong. Because sometimes they feel, but I've seen this developer all over. I've seen this developer come to my city 10 times.
Yes.
So what?
I was about
if
to
they've
say.
come 10 times, doesn't prove anything.
Exactly.
Or they've seen this developer with so many movie
Billboards
stars or
and
billboards or the
airports.
airport. And so, but that doesn't mean anything.
No.
Right? End of the day, the product you need to see what their handed over product is selling at, what the history of that product is, and take a decision.
I have two important questions for that, and I'm so curious myself. I go to Singapore every month because I work with Singapore clients. I had one incident that happened 2 weeks ago. I was speaking to a couple in Singapore, lovely couple, and the one partner had seen a small tier developer, I'm not going to name them, and they were offering a 7% discount, Tahir, right? And I don't sell that developer. And I was offering a developer called Iman in Motor City, Sierra, which I absolutely love. Price point was exactly the same. Actually, the price per square foot of that developer was a lot more than what I was offering in terms of the project. But they had seen the developer everywhere, and also the discount was very tempting. And I told them the same thing. Why do you think they give me a discount? I think there's a lot of emotional there in terms of I found them everywhere. My uncle has said it. They have lived in Dubai. All of that jazz comes into play. I did not sell that small tier developer, and I chose not to deal with that until we buy the other one. How do you think one would deal in that situation? There's so many agents who would just be like, oh, you want that? Let's go.
The thing is, because as the market grows, right, obviously the number of agents have grown.
True.
And it is going to grow with more properties coming in. Now, this is where any investor buying needs to do their due diligence, that who are they buying from? What's their past history, track record? How long they've been doing it for? Who are their clients? What kind of developer? Now, I mean, you know what? It's something where you can't really control.
True.
There's no certain way to...
You can't be everywhere.
Yeah, you can't be everywhere. And look, end of the day, and I tell this to everyone, every product has a clientele. Okay. Now, when you put the financial aspect to it, not every product is going to make you money.
True.
Okay. I have no doubts that even the developers, who are giving these discounts and all, they will also hand over. They will also deliver. Okay. But what kind of product they'll deliver and what sort of, returns the investors will make, that's questionable. And unfortunately, if people don't do their research well, if they don't understand, don't go and, read about the reviews or whatever, they will end up, falling for it. And look, there are some developers who are doing such heavy marketing that no matter what you try to explain to the client,
doesn't work.
That listen, this is a trap, don't fall for it. They are in this whole,
they're so invested with the developer because it's everywhere,
no,
right?
it cannot be. How are you saying? The other agent was saying this is so good. I said, okay, yes, if he's saying so good and all, I said, tell him to prove it to you. No, but I see this developer so many places. Okay, fine. If you feel so,
And you
you
then,
know,
what do you do? Do you just be like,
I mean, I
I
say,
can't do
okay, it's
everything,
okay.
right?
I can't do everything. I mean, I let the client go and I just tell them, listen, you know what? I wish you all the best. If you ever realize that, you know, what I
Same.
said
I do
is
the same
right,
thing.
do let me know. And I've had many people, I've had multiple people come to me and say, listen, oh, you know what? I got stuck in this. I said, look, it's your mistake. And they many times blame the other agent. I said, look, yes, it is the other agent's fault, but it's equally your fault because you believed in that person, right? You trusted the wrong person. It's your mistake.
Yeah.
So you
And they
know,
are
it's
consultants, right? They will
yeah,
tell what they believe in.
yes,
It's
they
your
believe in it,
money. You have
and
to sign.
yeah. So I mean, unfortunately, a
It is
lot
what it
is
is.
happening. Yeah.
It's very interesting. And I've been following your Instagram for a while, Tahir, and you've promoted a lot of names that are not very spoken
Yes.
about, right? And I love that. There are so many Mickey Mouse developers that have entered
Yeah.
the market. Everyone wants to get into construction because agents are coming, investors are coming, and developers are also coming in. 2-3 questions here. How do you then decide which unknown small tier developer you think is good? What metrics
So
do
there
you
are two,
then
three
see?
things. Number one, first thing, the moment I see is the layout. Okay, what sort of floor plans have they made? Everything starts from that sketch.
Right.
Okay, making a good product is not just about designing a fancy brochure or an interior render. No, it's first the layout. So for me, the number one thing is the layout. I see the layout, then I see what the whole building is like, what price they're selling at, what is the unit mix, what's the total number of units. You know, these factors come into play. Then obviously comes the location, plus understanding, okay, it could be a first time developer, but who's the team behind it?
Right.
Right? If I know that the team behind it is someone really amazing, why not? I mean, if tomorrow you know that, okay, it's you know, a very well renowned architect or a very good design studio which has done the design, okay, great. If that means the developer is, before starting the project, is willing to spend
Money.
and give a good architect or a good designer extra money to design a good product, that means the person wants to do a good job. So that's number one. Number two is then, you know, what is their payment plan? If they are offering a payment plan which is where they say, okay, we are okay with getting 60% on handover, 50%, 70% on handover, that means the developer is cash rich. He's not after your money. Okay. He's, you know, he's here to build a good product. He's only asking you to pay 20, 30%, 40%,
The bare minimum.
the bare minimum. And, you know, that means he has capital. So that means, you know, it's strong. That is another thing. And obviously location and how the whole look and feel and, you know, the team is. So all these factors come into the play. And a lot of times when developers are not marketing very heavily, there are high chances you get a much better
Better
product
product.
at a much better price.
Big believer.
And a lot of people don't realize this, that a lot of off-plan sells in hype, but secondary doesn't sell in hype. Secondary sells because if the product is good, it sells. Once your property is ready, it'll only sell and give you a premium if the property is good.
That's true.
No matter how much the hype was while selling, it is of no relevance once the property is ready.
That's like the star statement because I think a lot of people ignore that
No,
bit.
they ignore, because at the end of the day, once the property is ready, it doesn't matter which developer developed it.
No.
If it is really nice, when a person walks into the property and
It'll
says,
sell.
oh, wow, that's it. That's what sells. Then people are not really bothered about who was the developer. Then they start finding, okay, who was the developer? But that's irrelevant because it's a ready property. You've seen the quality, you've seen what it is. And, you know the rentals because you've probably seen, oh, this apartment is renting at this price, which is higher than others in the vicinity, and people are willing to pay for it.
No, it's crazy, Tahir. Like I actually, my family invests in property since a long time. I personally bought a property that no one might have heard about. It's called Bellagio. It's in Jabal Ali, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was 30-70 during summer. Now it's no longer valid.
Yes.
And my first reaction was the developer doesn't need my money.
Yeah.
So I bought it.
True.
And the layout spoke for itself. They were very practical.
Yeah.
Right now, the location has not much
Yeah.
happening, but it's very much the future. I didn't know it was Sunrise Developer,
Yeah.
and they have projects in Arjan. It's beautiful. So I looked at the building. I looked at what they've done. I'm like, tell me the developer. I found out about them, and then they had a project that they were selling,
Yes.
and then I bought it. It's very difficult to sell something like that in international markets.
It is.
Because
but end of the day, these are the developers where you make money.
100%.
Because once the product is ready, people are like, okay, fine. You've not paid for someone else's marketing campaign. So you've saved that money.
That's,
You know? So that's it. Yeah.
That's very true. There's so many branded residences
Yes.
that have come into the market. My biggest problem with them is that they've put down a really big name and put that with a property. Somebody that has nothing to do with real estate is now being collaborated with real estate. So it's just a name, but they've not really had any part in developing it. I want to understand your stance at buying a branded residence. I mean, I'm a big believer in a palace residences, your Vida.
See, I've said this always. Number one, brand is very good, no problem. But before you think about branded residence, you need to see who's building it. If an XYZ unknown person is building, doesn't matter, because two things. Number one, all these brand contracts, there's always an exit clause for the brand. So
Correct.
tomorrow, if they feel that, no, listen, we're not really happy with how this project has turned out, they'll say, thank you very much, we are
Yeah.
exiting. Number two, if it's a hospitality brand, it adds value.
I agree.
Okay, it adds value to the experience, to how the project is
Service, everything.
serviced. If it's a fashion brand, jewelry brand, I don't know how much of a value it'll add.
Exactly.
It's okay. Okay, I'm not saying there couldn't be fashion brands adding value into a property. They could, but you need to then see that how much are you overpaying for that brand. Is it a marginal premium or is it a big premium? If it's a marginal premium, I can understand that, because it's a global brand and this thing. But if it's a crazy premium, doesn't make sense. And second thing, we've seen some brands which literally are bankrupt brands, and they've been put up on buildings, and people are selling, and it's crazy.
It's mind-boggling.
It's
But as
mind-boggling.
you said, everything sells in Dubai, and that's the
Yeah.
con and pro of
Yes.
being in the city.
So I always say, look at the developer. If today a good developer is doing something with a brand such as Emar, Select Group, they will deliver good quality, because even without a brand, they are a brand themselves.
Correct.
Okay, and they're doing a collaboration just to enhance the whole experience. But if it's a developer who's not known to build good product, no matter what brand comes in, end of the
doesn't
day,
matter.
it doesn't matter.
I agree. Tahir, you mentioned that now everyone is moving to Dubai, right? We have
Yeah.
seen a fundamental shift where not only are people investing in Dubai, they're moving their families to
Yes.
Dubai. And I've been saying this a long time now, that now the demand for practical layouts, for more storage, for more living space has
100%.
been more high than ever. However, on the contrary, we're seeing that the new developments, because Dubai is so young, we don't have a lot of ready projects in general, right? We have limited supply. So we are building more off plan. The newer launches are becoming smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
So what is your take on anyone entering the market
I mean,
now?
see, as the city grows and as the population grows, this is something which happens globally.
Correct.
As the city keeps filling up more and more, and the prices keep going up, right? To keep the affordability, developers will shrink the sizes. Yes, that is happening, but there are still, I think, there are some developers who are paying attention to sizes. There are some great projects which are coming up with bigger sizes as well. But end of the day, what a lot of people are also missing out on is looking at slightly older buildings, older
How to
layouts,
say? Yeah.
older communities, where there are some hidden gems which you can get at such great value,
Prices. It's
where
crazy.
you take that property, spend a little, refurbish it, and it's great. So I think there people need to look at different things in this aspect, and as the city grows, obviously sizes will kind of, but also at some point of time, I'm also seeing that the newer layouts are probably also more efficient at times.
True.
Which sometimes on paper might look smaller, but when you actually practically go into it, you feel that it's doable. So, but again, not all, some of them, you need to be
Careful.
just careful on what you're buying.
Yeah, and it's interesting when you say it. Like, I was looking at a building in Arjan again, and somebody had bought the whole building and they'd refurbished all the units. They
Yeah.
were beautiful, spacious, very well furnished. The problem, Ty, was I took a few investors there from Singapore. The building was still old.
Yes.
The amenities were not that. So you can change the insides, but the outsides
Yes.
will remain how it is.
Absolutely.
And my family lives in JLT, and we have 1680 square feet for a 2 bedroom,
Yeah.
which is unheard of in today's Dubai.
Yes.
But we do prefer that, but we don't have a lot of that left. And you're
Yes.
still choosing a 15-year-old community now. So the newer investors would have to go with the new developments.
Yes.
So what do you have to say about people who might refurbish the old ones, but the area would still remain?
I mean, look, see, there is always going to be a price difference between the new and the old.
Correct.
Okay. But refurbished properties obviously are selling higher than the non-refurbished ones.
100%,
That's
100%.
for sure. But it's again, it also depends on personal choice. There are a lot of such buildings where you go in and you'll find older apartments and people like those layouts.
Right.
And as the market matures, it's also going to be about there are going to be a lot of sub markets within an area or community which have will form like of a particular building where there's a lot of demand of a specific type of a layout because people prefer that, especially with end user buying increasing.
Correct.
It's going to come more and more. Like for example, a classic example of JLT, you can get sometimes a 2 bed, as you said, 1600, 2000 square foot.
And someone like 1,000, 1100.
Yeah. And so if someone really values that space
Yes.
and wants that 2000
They pay.
square foot, they're coming cheap. They can spend and obviously, get it. So it's also a trade-off, right?
Correct.
Because if you are buying something in a slightly older community, you're trading off obviously newer amenities, better facilities, parking, etc., for a larger living space.
100%.
So depending on someone, like says someone spending a lot of time in their house and they're like, I don't really care about all these things. I'm happy with this. And maybe my office is 2
So
minutes
close to
down
me.
the road.
Correct.
And saves me a lot of time. It's a trade-off. Whereas for some people, the amenities are really important. It also, I think, it also depends on the type of who's using it. If it's someone, let's say, a single person, young couple, want to live, somewhere in the center, they are okay with a smaller size.
That's true.
But they want really good amenities, facilities, and
Like
stuff
a
like that.
paddle court, and they want a nice pool.
Nice pool, gym. This thing. Maybe for slightly bigger families, they value the space more.
That's on point, Tahir, because my family lives in JLT and they prefer the living space because they spend most of the time in the house. I live in downtown. My 1 bedroom with Imar is 635 square feet. It's a 1 bed, 635, new building. But I am 2 minutes from my office. I have the Burj Khalifa. My pool is amazing. So I prefer that over that living space. I'm not really at home usually. That's bang on. And it's interesting that in Singapore, a lot of my clients, Singapore is an island. It's a very limited space. A lot of my clients prefer older condominiums or like apartments, as we say in Dubai, as opposed to these new ones because of just the size. And they're like, we care about the living space. One question that I get asked all the time is, Mallika, with more families coming, do you now see 2 and 3 beds or a landed or like a townhouse or villa doing better? And my answer to them is that Dubai has a young population as well, and we have everyone and anyone coming to Dubai. So we have families, but we also have young couples and young professionals wanting to make something of their lives. So everything would do well depending on what you buy and where you buy. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, look, 2 things. In terms of 2 beds, 3 beds, larger units, they always appreciate more.
True.
They don't give you the best rental return, but they appreciate more. They always hold value. The smaller units, studios, 1 beds will always give you better cash flow, that is rental return, but they don't give you the most appreciation. So it depends on everybody's investment goal. Data-wise, if you see, with all the people talking about supply coming in, oversupply, and the same thing, data-wise, all the supply which is coming in, majority of the units are studios and 1 beds.
True.
So if you are sensible enough and if you get into the larger units, and especially in areas where there are very few larger units, it's a win-win situation for you. So it's, I tell people that, look, if you're doing an investment, especially for capital appreciation, you need to make sure you study well and go in with a strategy, that this is your strategy, this is what you want to do, and that's how you will do it. Don't just blindly buy because of some offer or stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's about investment expectation, right? Somebody who wants an appreciation will invest in a more premium, high floor, pool view, amenity view. Somebody who just wants cash flow is very happy with a road view on a low floor because we don't care, right? It's about the cash flow that goes on. It's very interesting. You've touched upon areas very quickly, so I do want to ask you. There are a lot of hidden gems in Dubai, areas that no one really talks about.
Yes.
Do you have your top one or top two areas in the affordable range that you think are up and coming or no one really looks at
I
but
think, look,
should?
number one, I think Jumeirah Garden City is a great location, has great potential. Not too many people are looking at it. So that is a place which I think has some nice hidden gems. Also, Dubai South, I think, is a great place today. It's slowly getting more popular
And developed
and developed. A lot of affordable,
options are there.
options over there. Some nice ones coming up there. So I think that is one place because it's very close to the airport, very close to the new exhibition center. So I think it's got great future. And so these two places I really think are doing well. And then obviously there are a lot of new master communities which are coming in. But of course, those are more longer term hold. But these two places I feel are
Like the hidden
something
gems.
where it's still priced well and people can get in some good things. Also, Dubai Island I feel has a good the whole Rashid Yatsen
The
Marina,
entire
Maritime
water
City.
line
Yeah, I think that is a very good place to get in if someone wants to get in at
early.
a waterfront property, still at good prices. I think there's going to be good potential once the handovers start and people start moving there.
I think it's interesting. I took another Singapore client yesterday to Dubai Maritime.
Yeah.
We looked at Anwar because that's the only
Yeah.
building that's ready there,
Yes.
right? And right now there's barren land. There's
Yes.
absolutely nothing.
Yes.
So I do think that it takes a bit of vision and faith.
100%. Look, people need to have the patience, need to have 3 to 5 years in their
Timeline
mind
horizon in
that,
mind.
look, this will take this much time, and they need to believe in it that, look, what they're showing, they will make it. That's about it. If they wait, it's all about,
Faith.
it's all about holding.
I agree. I
Or
agree.
if they hold on to it and they wait for it, they'll make money.
I think it's the same as like the Creek Harbor, right? Like
Absolutely.
the tower. Like it's about having that faith that they will build that tower. And once it comes up, you will make money.
Yeah.
It's about holding till that tower
True.
comes up. I think that's the biggest problem. I think people do not really talk about exit timelines as much as they talk about buying timelines.
No, everybody is just interested in selling, right? So a lot of agents are just interested in selling, and they're not really, telling clients how they'll exit, or they are telling them fake and false timelines. I mean, I had a client recently reach out to me saying, "Oh, listen, but this property my agent said I can sell in 6 months." I said, "You can sell, but someone should buy. You can sell even tomorrow if you want to after buying, but someone
There's
should be
buyer.
ready to buy." So that's the thing.
It's interesting. There's so many agents in the market now.
Yes.
I know that you have your own company.
Yeah.
You were an agent before, then you basically started your own venture. You want to talk about that transition? Why did you decide to venture on your own?
I mean, look, I've been doing real estate for a very long time, and end of the day, it was time where I wanted to then eventually grow, and grow not just as an agent, but as as a person, as a business, and something which somewhere happened naturally and gradually. Because when we started the company, me and my business partners, we started with a very our goal initially was that we just want to do our own work. Okay. We were, we manage our own clients and all. But then gradually, slowly, what happened is we, started getting more clients, more inquiry, more business. So I said, I'm losing more business than, so I was like, okay, let me get a few people. So we grew the company very naturally and very slowly and very sustainably, because we've seen a lot of companies come into the market. Sometimes they have someone backing them, people are investing money. But what happens is this business is such that, the biggest issue, because I've seen a lot of companies close also, right? And when the markets are going up, everything is good. Everybody is making money.
Yeah.
What the problem comes in the moment the markets forget going down, the moment the momentum of the market slows, okay, these companies start to wonder, now what do we do? And then slowly, you see companies packing up. So I didn't want to be amongst those. Okay. So we grew very, slowly and in a manner where we took, any step we took in terms of, growing our expenses, increasing, expanding. We thought about it 10 times whether will we be able to do it, not do it. How do we manage that? And that's how we've grown. So, now we are close to about, say, 30, 35 people.
Wow.
We don't have any number target of, that I want to reach 100 people,
It's very
200 people.
natural of
It's
how it
natural for me. What
happens.
is more important, that all my agents do well. we had when I hired, I had 4 people, and today from those 4 people, I could say 2-3 of them are doing exceptionally well, right? Taking 7 figures plus home. So that's what we want in the company. It's we're not here to. I mean, look, we're not here to show off or do things. So that's the thing, But again, different people have different vision, different ideologies, but our ideology has always been to be to grow in a natural manner and grow sustainably, because you need to sustain that uh, growing up and then coming down.
I think that exactly. I think a lot of people, when I look at so many agencies, it's very much when I talk to my clients, they're like, Mallika, what if you go away?
No, and this happened because when I started over here, I was working with a company, and I was really, I mean, I'm really fortunate to work with them. I worked with them for almost like 6-7 years.
Wow.
That was the first company I joined, and I was there
Throughout,
for
until
throughout.
you.
Then I was just, I moved 1 or 2 companies, and then I started my own because I just didn't, get. Uh, I was not comfortable, and but what I realized from them is when they started off very big. Uh, our office was in Emar Square, the
Very
best
prime
address
location.
to have an office.
Yes.
From there, few years later, we moved to Bay Square, and from there we moved into a business center. Uh, Usually it should be the other way around,
Yes.
so I learned, and I was like, I don't want to make these mistakes. And plus I've seen a lot of other companies also make mistakes, and I've seen a lot of other companies do really well. So whenever I meet other agency owners who are doing really well, I try to learn something from them, because that really helps in
Yeah, you were
kind
asking
of.
me how we run our
Yeah.
company as well.
Yeah,
So,
because
like,
it's always good to know what's happening.
100%
And I think learning is something which should not stop, and
continuous.
continuous learning. And anytime we see something new, something good,
You want to adapt
because
that to
I always
yourself.
believe that there's someone else who's way smarter than me doing something better than me. So I always want to try and learn how you can
It's very
better it.
interesting because when a client buys from you, they buy from you, not the
No, of
company you
course,
work for, right?
100%.
So it's very much can they trust you that you will be doing this for a long time? And that's not very common in Dubai real estate
No,
when people
no.
make one commission check and they're like, okay, we're off for a
Oh,
year and we're
yes,
going to
yes,
go
yes.
away,
I
right?
mean, back in 2016, okay, I did a big deal, and the, the lady who owned the company at that time, uh, she gave me my commission and everything, and I was, I was next day again
At it.
morning in office, and this thing, and then she'd kept a party once, and she's like, Tahir, when I gave you that check, I thought you will probably come and resign and start your own. I said, no, that is not my thing at that time. I was not, ready for it. So that was not the thing. So a lot of people do that, but they don't realize that running a company is a lot
Headaches.
of. It's not about headache, but it's a lot of work. And to run a company, if you are an agent, see, people need to realize this, that, and the reason why I also took this decision was because I somewhere wanted to now grow the business and come take a back foot on
And
sales.
have people
I
do it.
didn't want to sell myself. I'm today helping all my agents. Uh, Even if a client contacts me,
You give it
I
on.
am there with them. I'm there to guide them. I personally overlook, but I will probably personally not go and just do everything. I have agents who we've personally trained, not by a trainer, but ourselves with our ideologies, our ethics, our morals, saying, look, this is how you handle a client. This is what you do. This is what you sell. This is what you don't sell. This is, and we've kind of, uh, now we pass it on to them. We tell them, listen, this is what you need to do. And we overlook. Any client needs to meet me, yes, Zoom call, phone call, whatever, I'm there for them. And I make sure that every client is taken care of in a proper manner. So that's where you have to let go of something. Okay.
In
If
order to
if
scale, you
if if
have
if
to
I have to,
let people
if
do it.
only I had to sell myself, right, then I can't look at this kind of growth. So that was like kind of a decision which
You had
I
to
made
take.
consciously, and
But
I
Tahir,
think
is that a fear that you train somebody so well for such a long time? Dubai real estate has some of the most like lowest retention rates I've seen in any
absolutely,
industry in the world.
absolutely.
Is there a fear of them moving on?
Look, two things. People always move on if for few reasons. Number one, if they're not comfortable with you, right? If they are comfortable, they are happy,
They
they
would
will not
not.
move. Uh, okay. At the same time, there are some people who have their own ambitions and own dreams. It's absolutely okay. If tomorrow someone who's learned from me goes
That's
ahead and builds a good company,
you'll be
I
proud.
will be proud.
Yes.
I'll be happy
Yes.
because I can proudly say that this person worked with me and I
That's
trained him.
yeah.
So that's okay. And look, everybody's skill set, everybody's capabilities are different. I truly believe that if they are leaving, if they feel that they have some better opportunities, why not?
Why not?
So that, I mean, there's no fear on that. We try our best
To keep them
to
happy.
keep them
So
happy,
you're happy, they're happy, everyone's
to keep them happy. I think uh, that's part and parcel of business, and that's going to happen.
to everyone.
But then, if someone leaves, you have someone else joining, so
It's
that's always there. But yes, at the overall in general, we don't really hire so many people
that you would have that issue.
that I have that issue.
Very interesting. And
See, a lot of companies hire anybody.
True.
Just come, they'll give you a desk, sit,
Because
start working.
in Dubai, you don't get a salary.
Yes,
and people don't know
it's,
this,
it's no
right?
salary, right? So even if I have to hire 50 people
You
tomorrow
can do
morning,
it.
I can do it. I can say,
Because
okay, fine.
you just come, you work on the leads, you go.
If out of those 50, 10 people sell something,
You're good.
they'll give them the visa and keep them, rest 40 go.
Yeah.
And this happens a lot, but we don't do that. For us, it's, if we are getting on board someone, we need to see who the person is. Do we think that he'll be able to manage the client's expectation, and do we think that he, fits amongst us? And only then we hire.
I think that's a very good way to look at it. That's why the fear would also not be there, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, if he's going to go on or not, she's going to go on or not. One of the last few questions, Tyre, since we're running out of time. Since you have an agency of your own and you hire agents, what are the top 3 qualities that investors should look at when they find an agent? And on the same question, what are the top 3 qualities a good agent should have to give clients the best experience?
Look, number one, they need to see how well informed the agent is. Because any good agent will have all the information on their fingertips. Now, what I mean by that is obviously not a detailed thing on everything, but will have an information of the
Basic.
overview of the entire market. So how good is your agent in terms of, does he know what's happening in the secondary market? Does he know what the rentals are? Or is he just telling you? I mean, if someone's saying, oh, this will rent at this much, based on what? Okay, there's a community next to it, similar size, older product. This is new community that is renting for 250. So I'm estimating this should rent for 260, 270. That's a logical explanation. But, oh, no, it'll rent for 300. But how?
Based on what?
Based on what? No. So, these kinds. So, number one, the information has to be good. Number two, you need to see the agent's communication skills. Because if an agent does not communicate properly to the client professionally, that is very important, I think. And number three, you need to understand whether this agent is working. There's nothing wrong with new agents, but who's he surrounded with? Is he working for a very reputed company? Is he working for a new company? What his past is, what his background is. You need to know the person also a little bit. Because this is eventually a people's business, right? If I was today putting my money in, right, as an investor, and let's say I'm investing somewhere else, and if I'm using an agent, I need to know that agent, right? Because I'm putting money based on that person.
Exactly.
So if I feel that, yes, this guy knows his stuff, he's, how's he doing as an agent? Is he performing well? Is he doing well? These factors do, and how honest that agent is. So these things I think are a must. And
I think it's very important when I do my client consultations. The starting of the conversation is, Mallika, tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
Where were you born, brought up, background, where have you worked? Because they want to get to know me before they want to work with me.
True.
And I think, as you said, I think I'm a big believer that it's a people's business. So if they don't like you, they don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
You want to find a people's person who's honest about what they do and not desperate to make that sale. And I
True.
think people can make that distinction very quickly. Tahir, we're on the end of the podcast. And since it's called Brick by Brick, which means if you could give and leave people with one advice, if they're looking at Dubai today or anything else, and advice to anybody wanting to make something of themselves, what would you tell
Look,
them?
anything to do with Dubai, think of Dubai real estate as a long-term game. Don't think of a short-term thing. Don't think of, whether you're an investor, you're starting a business, you're moving here, don't think about 1, 2, 3 years. Think of at least 5, 10 years and then get into this place, because this place now is not for people wanting to make a quick buck. It's people who want to build something for themselves, and it's a place which is now about thinking long term and not short term. And anything you do over here
That's really long term.
has to be long term now.
Love that. Tahir, honestly, this conversation was so interesting because I am
Thank
also
you.
a consultant in the market.
Yeah.
So I think your experience shows through when you talk.
Oh,
and I
thank you
think
so
it is
much.
so evident with real life
Thanks.
examples of, and it's very much that you know what you're talking about. You've seen the city develop and you're so grateful to Dubai.
No, absolutely.
that
I'm
you wanna
really
give
grateful to
back
the city
with-
because, moving here really changed my perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it gave me a very different perspective on life in general. So I'm definitely, grateful to the city for the opportunities it's given me.
No, I had a voice from a friend, I think the other day, and he said, Malik, I saw your podcast with some person and feels like you're talking about Dubai like it's your home, like it's
Yeah.
your family. And I'm
It
like,
is.
yeah, it's because you're so grateful for what the
Yes.
city has done for you. That's
Absolutely.
automatic, right?
Yes.
And I say that when you talk, and I think that's absolutely outstanding. So thank you so
absolutely.
much, Tahir, for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
And I
for
look forward to
having me.
many more conversations together.
Sure.
This is Mallika, and I'm signing off from yet another episode of Marrfa Presents Brick by Brick. I really, really hope that you got a more transparent overview of where Dubai was and where we are heading to make a very well-informed decision towards your next investment. And with that, I will see you in the next one.